It took 200 years for the powerful Roman Empire to be destroyed. I can't believe what I'm saying. I can't believe what is happening right now in the world economy.
At some point, they're going to quit using our dollars as reserve currency. I mean, I watched your interview with Putin, and one of the things, whether you hate him or not, one of the things he said that is true is when we sanctioned him, before we sanctioned Russia, 70% of their transactions were in US dollars. And after the sanctions, it's less than 20% of their transactions are in US dollars.
And the electricity needs are greater than anything we've ever needed before to do AI at the highest level. And China will produce it because they'll do whatever you have to do, whereas we have environmental impact people, and we have a lot of people trying to hold us back. But massive amounts of electricity are needed in order to do AI. And we're going to have to generate a whole different level of energy.
And we're also sending a really clear signal, which is the dollar's not safe for you.
Right.
It's the reserve currency because it's a safe haven, because it's a stable country. It's the most stable country in the world, and we're not going to weaponize the dollar because that would be shooting ourselves. But suddenly we are.
I can't believe that when you are sitting here preaching and telling people that the destruction of the US dollar, it is actually taking place slow by slow. People think that no, it is a joke. People perhaps think that no, we are making up all these stories. But look where the US dollar was seated, and look at the value of the US dollar at the current situation right now. You will see that something actually is busy happening. And you, especially if you are finding yourself within the US borders, you need to open your eyes and try to see on where you can start investing your money, where you know that the future of your children and your grandchildren will be seated tomorrow. Because if you don't want to open your eyes and understand that actually the US dollar is following slow by slow, well, you are in big trouble. Because
I think Zelensky is maybe the greatest salesman of any politician that's ever lived. Every time he comes to our country, he walks away with $60 billion.
When the Western, they are busy sitting there, getting middle in the world business, putting a lot of conflict among nations around the world, creating a lot of trouble in the Middle East where women and children are being killed, something big is happening. Yes, something very big is taking place right now.
Saudi Arabia has officially ended its 50-year Petrodollar agreement with the United States, shifting to a multi-currency system.
So having Saudi Arabia, the backbone of the petrodollar, join BRICS, you couldn't make up a bigger slap in the face. I can guarantee you, they are not feeling very good right now in Washington, D.C.
So this is not a peace proposal.
And you need to understand exactly what is all this about. The following of US dollar is not something that you just wake up one day and then you find that, okay, it was announced yesterday and it's happening today. No, actually take place before the US dollar come to its existence. Before the US dollar come to have this kind of the influence which it had around the world, it first have to go through certain process. And now that it's falling apart, well, there is also a process. And you, as a person who like to invest or who like to trade or who like to do different things, you must be aware of what is happening right now, because the mainstream media, they're not going to tell you this. If you're expecting the CNN or whatever they call themselves or Fox News, they will never going to come and tell you these things. But you need to open your eyes, because at the end of the day, you'll be the loser if you don't open your eyes. Guys, the US dollar is going down. The US dollar is losing its value because the world have understand that you can't rely on the US dollar. If you want to grow up the economy of your country, you can't rely on the US dollar. If you want to do something better, you can't rely on the US dollar, because look, the people who are behind all it. These people are not be trustworthy. These people, they believe they are the big brother around the block.
There's always big brother who decides. And when you fight and say, no, we are not going to do this, they use the system to stop you. It's either they set you up with the opposition and they'll be supporting the opposition against you from the back, or they cause unnecessary chaos in your country so that you are not able to even govern your own people. They will do things to make you not to be functionable. And of course, any country that don't have peace cannot develop.
They can tell you what they want to tell you, and you have just to say amen. When Uncle Joe Biden's administrations, they're busy out there seeing on what they can do in supporting Ukraine, they spend a lot of billion of money giving to Ukraine.
I think Zelensky is maybe the greatest salesman of any politician that's ever lived. Every time he comes to our country, he walks away with $60 billion.
Oh yes, Donald Trump is right about that, because it is kind of a lot of money. You're giving it to a country which you know very well that sooner or later they will be defeated by Russia. Yet you still think that no, you are in control of everything because you have your US dollar, which you think that you can go ahead and bully any country around the world.
One of the greatest mistakes of the United States is they're prohibiting from using dollar as in international payments and using it as a tool, and they're simply undermining the trust towards dollar. It's ridiculous. They should have taken care of the dollar and to preserve it and to raise its profile and its standing. They're simply killing it off with their own hands.
Exactly, that is the main point why most of countries, they are turning their backs against the US with their allies and face other nations who are willing to work with them in a mutual respect. Because the USA, they've been using their US dollar as a way to bully other nations. They've been using the US dollar to impose their sanctions on other nations around the world. So each and every countries, they have understand actually that's one.
Putin knows exactly what he's doing, allowing these developing countries to start moving away from the US dollar, stop being bullied by the United States. Oh boy. President Biden's foolish sanctions against Russia have turned the world against the US dollar.
And then they are finding another alternative to see on how they can work with other nations who are having that due respect for them. And this time, these countries are choosing to work with BRICS. Do you know why? Because BRICS just announced the upcoming of their new currency. BRICS want to have their own US dollar. They'll give it a name because they don't want also to rely on China's currency, because China might wake up one day and also decide to become another USA. So they don't want that. So they want to come up with their own currency, as much we are having euros in Europe. So therefore, this currency, it is a world currency which each and every nation out there are waiting for. Do you know why? Because most of countries are tired of the US dollar. Most of people, they are tired to be bullied by the US. Most of people, they are tired to be used economically by the US, all because you have to trade with their currency. All because you have to do everything, the transfer of money, it has to happen through US currency. So countries are tired. They want to have a world new currency, which most of countries will trust. And that's what BRICS have hit NATO countries, G7, G20, all of them combined together. It hit them where it hurt the most, because with this new world currency, it is something that will help a lot of countries to grow up their economy. Because even the charge over there, it will be that little compared to the one that we're seeing with the US dollar. Because they know very well that if you have to lower up the rates on how you transfer all this money around, it will raise a lot of transactions within countries to other countries, within companies to other companies. And that it will allow many companies to do business together. It will allow many countries to trade together. And it will make it even more easy for the circulations of merchandise to circulate even more easy around the world. Whereby you buy something from Cuba, you bring it to Africa in a few days, you know that you are having your cash. The next thing you go to China, you take something else, just like that. And these are the things which we have owned. We have tell people of America that you guys should open your eyes, because the US dollar is being destroyed slow by your politicians, all because they want to go around and telling people what to do. with their business, all because they want to always sitting there and tell them, if you don't do this, we're gonna put sanction on you. If you don't do that, you can put sanction on you. These sanctions tricks does not work anymore. Yes, does not work anymore. In our days, most of countries, whether they get sanctioned from the US or not, these countries, they don't feel anything. So it does not affect them anymore. Do you know why? Because they are fed up. They are fed up, they are tired. This sanction does not work anymore. There's many countries which went through these sanctions and they managed to survive out of these sanctions. Vietnam, they had these sanctions. Cuba, they had these sanctions for years. 5 decades. Venezuela, they are there. Burkina Faso, they are there. Zimbabwe, we can't even say. They put these sanctions, Zimbabwe is still there. And you guys saw how Zimbabwe shocked these people. Because they were used of always putting this kind of sanctions on countries such as Zimbabwe, knowing that it was going to destroy their economy. And you could see how Zimbabwean dollar lost its currency. It is only in Zimbabwe back then we will have millionaires. Whereby you take that money, you put it in other value of other currency. Just to find out that no, you don't even have 1,000 in your bank account. But just because Zimbabwean dollar have lost its currency, or its value, I mean to say, you find out that people, they were there millionaires. Someone said that, okay, no, look, I'm going to send you 10 million. Imagine somebody giving you 10 million Zimbabwean dollar. Obviously, you even feel so excited thinking that this money I'm going to buy myself mansions, I'm going to buy branded car, latest models. But once that money is in your hands, you just end up realizing that actually that money can't even buy you food in the house. That is how these people used to enjoy the suffering of people of Zimbabwe. But did you see what Zimbabwean did? Are you aware that Zimbabwean, they are now having a new currency? A currency that defeated not only their former currency which they were using, but it even defeating the US dollar. Trust me. This currency came with a new evaluations that overpass even the US dollar. It had raised up the economy of Zimbabwe to a certain point that no business now is happening. Because remember, once you don't have a strong currency, once your money lost value, then everything's becoming useless. That's how you have a lot of unemployment, a lot of trouble in your country, because that is not going to work. Yes, even if you pay someone 100 million Zimbabwean dollar, they're not going to be able to enjoy that money, because them also, when they are spending, they'll be spending in millions. But they kill that things of millions. Now they are having something like a 100 Zs, whatever they call the new currency. You can correct us through the comment. But all I know is that their new currency is more powerful compared to their former currency, which the Western they were using. So, talking about these sanction things, it does not work anymore. Most of countries, they have understand that no, Americans, they are using their US dollar to bully other countries, to impose their sanctions on other nations. Therefore, they don't need to depend on them. That's why you see BRICS, they came up with this new currency, because they know that this new currency idea is going to help us to have even more world countries which will come and join BRICS, and then we'll start doing business together and we'll raise up the economy of BRICS. And this G20, G7, NATO nations, they won't be able to beat us again with our economy. So these sanctions that the US, they've been imposing on people, it does not work anymore. People, they have opened their eyes. They are now finding another way out. They are now trying to find new partners whom they feel like they can trade with, partners that can respect them, and them also they can respect them better. They are looking for countries or partners which they can come and build them to grow their economy. So, this is a very big defeat to the US dollar. You might not see it now, but if you're a businessman, if you have money to invest, start watching out. You must know where to invest your money. Therefore, me, personally, I can encourage people to invest their money like in the estates, because that business, you can still always be able to recover your money. In the meantime, when the world is still coming up with a new currency. But if you want to go and invest your money in some nonsense, well, that's your problem. By the way, me personally, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm just trying also to share what the little that I know about these things. So I'm not canceling you to do what I'm saying or not, but just be aware that the US dollar is following down. The world very soon they're going to have a new currency which will be more powerful than pounds and euros and US dollar. That's world currency. It is a currency which each and every country would like to trade with. Let me give you a very a short example so that you can understand what I mean to say by this. Once BRICS comes out with their currency, this currency they'll be trading among themselves. Now, here's the thing. When they're trading among themselves, it's gonna raise the economy of BRICS. Once the economy of BRICS grow up, these other nations who have not joined BRICS, if they want to go and trade with a country which belongs to BRICS, they'll tell them that no, okay, fine, you guys you can have your currency, which is the US dollar or whatever, but here we trade with other nations only through our BRICS. So when we're giving you quotation, we'll be giving it to our rates according to our currency. You take that quotation, go and calculate it, evaluate it on your own, whether it is your country money, France CFA or Chile or rands or US dollar or euro pounds or Japanese currency. Do whatever you want to do there, but just know that when you come to us and you want to buy something from us, you are going to pay that thing in our own currency. And once that took place, obviously the economic trading platforms or different things, that currency will be also part of it. It will be aligned among the list of world currency. And like those who like to trade, obviously traders I'm referring to, those ones, they'll be now choosing like, no, I want to trade in a BRICS currency. So the more they do that, the more powerful that currency will become, and that's how BRICS currency will come and take the control of this world when it comes to the world trading currency. So you see already that once that happens, you can't just imagine how powerful or how weak the US dollar will be by then. Because if they have to come and tell you that no, one BRICS currency, which the name have to be announced, it is equal maybe to 10 or 15 US dollar. You can see already that by then the US dollar will be dropped down and it won't do anything. So guys, we shall wait and see what will happen. But the truth is that if you are a businessman or a businesswoman, you should start thinking on how to invest your money. You should start seeing on already on how you'll have to do business with certain countries or certain partners, because you don't want to wake up one day and just to find out that your millions or your little that you have is already disappeared because it have lost the value. That's a free warning to all of you. Thank you so much for watching this video until now. We really do appreciate your presence. Don't leave without giving us your thumbs up. We really do appreciate that. Feel free to share also your opinion in the comment section. We always have a look on it. Tell us what to think about this new currency which is being announced by BRICS, and on how the US dollar is busy losing its value. Tell us also your opinion. We would like to hear from you on that one. But if you want to catch more from us and you believe that we are doing good, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. We really do appreciate that as well, because it's very important where we get to sit down and talk this kind of conversation. So guys, that will be all for tonight. For today, continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon. Ciao, ciao.
tchèque, il y a ndolé, il y a foutou, il y a foufou, il y a loco, oh, que nous pouvons manger. Il y a du tchèp, il y a yassa.